Welcome to Chit Chat. I'm Mona Phillips, and this is
Maya Phillips.
Oh yeah, that's my offspring right there. I came up with an interesting topic. You've come up with a lot of the stuff. So this time, once in a while, Mom gets to put her 2 cents
Yes,
in.
she does.
One of the things that Maya and I always battle with is, Gen X versus Gen Y stuff, right? So I said, why don't we just do like different editions on this particular, a few different topics, right?
Yes.
But categorizes Gen
excited.
Y. Are you?
Well, because you know
Gen
what's
Z.
interesting is people always think, oh, you're a millennial. I'm not a millennial. I was born in 1997. So I'm like that upcoming
I feel so old.
I'm that new generation that still doesn't have an end, right? There's no end to the
Not
Gen
yet.
Y yet.
Not yet.
That's so crazy.
Well, crazy is as crazy does.
So what's the topic today for Gen Z versus Gen Y?
So this edition is going to be social media.
My favorite.
Oh my God.
I love social media, obviously.
So one of the things that I wanted to do is have this conversation because she grew up with it a little bit earlier, obviously, than my son. My son's 30, so he didn't grow up with it quite like Maya did, a lot sooner for her than it was for my son. For me, I really didn't grow up with it at all. We were forced to kind of roll with the punches, in our 30s, actually, later 30s, more like in my 40s. It sometimes is a struggle of understanding social media versus, what I used to do when I was your age. You're 23.
Actually talking to people.
I had a kid by the time I was her age. Tim would have been a year old by then. Social media was not a thing. Our social media was the phone, right?
Your pager.
Pager was a big thing, okay? Pager was a big... Who out there, okay, comment below, remembers your pager, and when people were putting in the numbers, they did it like in codes. So you could put hello, you'd have to put a 4, right? And whatever numbers to do hello. That way it comes it comes in letters, but you actually put in numbers. So please comment below if you've ever done that, and maybe give us some of the codes you used to use so that when people looked at their phone, they knew what you were talking about. I used a pager pretty much my whole adult life, and probably, in my 20s, 30s, and that's it, because then it was gone. But for work, it was a big thing. I had to use a pager. We all did. And beep, 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 beep. It was great. I loved it. And my BlackBerry was my... Wait a minute! Palm Pilot! Woo! Wait a minute, what about the paper?
Pilot.
You don't know what a Palm Pilot is?
No.
Okay, see these devices?
Yeah.
You know how it has the calendar? Palm Pilot started that. Franklin Covey was big on putting all of your appointments on a day timer.
Okay.
So all your appointments, the time, all this was in a day timer. You had the notes and all of that. So Palm Pilot was a company that automated that system so that you actually had a device that I actually still have it at home.
Really?
Yes, I'll have to show it to you. And it's a Palm Pilot that it was all electronic, and that was like the latest and the greatest at the time.
Wow.
No Wi-Fi. None of that.
No Wi-Fi?
No.
Was there Wi-Fi back then?
No, not really. No.
So how did you work a computer?
Well, they were all plugged into the wall. And then you had internet access, but it was through the phone. So it sounded like a fax machine. Does anybody remember AOL? So before Google, before any of these guys, it was AOL, America Online. That's what we did. And you had to call analog.
We don't have any of that. Now, for my generation, it's just Wi-Fi, and more Wi-Fi with your iPhone. That's it. Okay, so my question is if you can compare what was easier to use. Your Palm Pilot BlackBerry pager?
Yes, so simplicity was great during that time.
Okay.
Because there was just one device. To say that devices today are more efficient, the answer would be yes. However, this is just my opinion from a working perspective, because I can only relate to this as a working person. It was also great not having the device go out all at once.
Well, because
So if I need to put something in my... Sorry to interrupt. So putting something in my calendar and then having to make a phone call, and the phone goes completely out. I'm with no calendar, I'm with no phone.
Gotcha.
So one device goes out because one device is on everything. It's dead, I can't work. Hence why when things go down, like your computer or your phone, you're like, oh my God, the world is gonna end. Back then it was like, pick up a payphone, just pull over, or go in the office and pick up the phone. It wasn't a big deal. Oh, and by the way, I could be on the phone and I didn't need to worry about my phone because why? I had my daytime where I just write it in and that never went out. Think about it. Pen, paper, never went out. Always worked. You're looking at me like
You've been talking for so long.
Sorry.
I completely spaced out anything you just said. All I know is the iPhone works really great for my generation.
I gotta tell you though, so unlike everybody else, I'm not sure, your grandmother really empowered and really started music videos for the amateur. Your grandmother actually owned a studio in our local area here in Concord, and she did actual videos with background stuff like MTV. It was
So
amazing.
cool. Yeah.
And I helped run it at a young age.
It's called Be a Star.
It was?
Maybe some of our people watching know what Be a Star was.
Or maybe you were in a video.
Because there
Be
were
a-
some people, believe it or not, that like still come up to my mom and they're like, I know you from somewhere. Did
Yes.
your mom own Be a Star? Like that just happened
Yes,
last year.
yes.
And some of our girls in the office think that they've been to Be a Star
Yes.
and shot a video. So if you have been to Be a Star,
Put
comment
it in
below.
a comment
And we want to see
below.
the video too.
Yes.
Because it was such a Bay Area thing. And a lot of
Yes.
people came in and out to come do it. I'm pretty sure my boyfriend's dad probably.
We found a lot of talent. So social media isn't like what it is today. Back then,
Yeah.
doing video also wasn't like what it is today. Now everybody can be a star with their own device.
I feel like because I think also another thing is it's easier to become famous now than it was
is.
back then.
It is.
If you were famous back then during that time, you were actually talented.
Absolutely.
You were not an influencer. You were an actual artist or you were an actor and you had actual talent. And that's the thing with your generation and like actors and people that are involved in some type of creative, they stick
arts.
around longer
Yes.
than our people. Like they're come and go people my age. Like we'll see them one day and they're gone the next.
Well, because I
But
think it's
yours is
I
very
think let's just call that
classic.
like a fad, right? So we used to call it a fad. Like now it's just a thing. It's a hype for like 5 minutes.
Well,
Why?
speaking of slang words, I have a couple of hot topics that have to do with social media and our slang.
Oh my.
So I wanted to trick her today.
Why do you always do this?
Because
trick of business.
So because fad is a word for you.
It wasn't a word for me. I was just saying.
Or it was a word.
Okay.
Yeah. What does flexing for the gram mean?
It means like saying things for Instagram to get like followers.
Sure. Okay, what else would you think flexing for the gram means? It's kind of like that, but a little different.
Well, like saying posting things, like you're flexing
kind
your
of
own
thing?
muscle.
But what kind of thing?
Like yourself. Tim, don't laugh.
No, like, what would you be flexing? Like, somebody like, oh, they're flexing for the gram.
Showing off.
There you go, exactly.
Showing
Flexing
off
for
to
the
me. Flexing is showing off.
gram. Okay, hot girl summer.
Oh, God. Really? I had
Hot
to hear
girl
your
summer.
dad say that the whole time we were in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Is it a hot girl summer?
What's hot girl summer?
Well, it's just all the girls having fun and being silly in a vacation. Getting together.
Kind of.
Yeah, drinking, whatever, hot girl summer.
Okay, let me
and
put
you're
it in a
all
sentence.
ugly and you're trying to look hot.
Let me put it in a sentence.
That'd be me.
Girl.
Ugly but trying to look hot.
I'm gonna put in a sentence. Girl, me and my man just broke up, so it's gonna be hot girl summer for me all summer.
Single free, fancy free, and doing naughty things.
Hot girl summer. But
Sounds like an orgy.
what? Mom! Oh my
Well,
god!
definitely.
What does this mean?
Death. What? It means
When
death.
people put this, what does this mean in text messages?
It means death.
If they're like, I'm
Going to kill you.
no,
I don't know. It's a skull. That's what
I'm
going to murder you.
no. What
I'm
does a
going
skull
to-
usually mean?
Poison you.
No. If you're like, oh my god, that was so funny, I'm
Scared.
dead. I'm laughing so hard, I'm dead.
Like I said, I'm going to murder you. Going to kill you. All of it goes together.
I'm dead.
I don't like it.
Okay,
It's
this one's from very Gen Y, TikTok era.
Well, then I'm screwed. Okay? I love eyes. Wait. Lips. I talk, I.
I talk I.
Well, it's an I. Lips mean to talk. And then there's another I.
Okay. So
I talkify. Wait, don't explain.
Okay.
I for an I.
That's actually a good one, but that's not it. This is something people will post on TikTok. Let's say if like somebody has, it's like a dead face.
Watching you.
No, it's just like a dead face. Like it's like, oh, if it's funny, they'll do this. Like, oh my God, I'm dead. So it's another version of
I'm going to murder you.
Yeah, and it's kind of the same thing, but not really.
If we had social media then, like the way we have it now, that I think is going to be very interesting. Air guitar was a big thing. Air guitar.
That is so lame. I'm sorry. And I usually don't say that. That is so lame.
Because you lack imagination. All you guys talk is a cryptic language, okay? There's no imagination there. I with the murder thing. It's terrible.
Because I'm okay.
Okay, let me show you. This? No! That's what I think about this. How about that?
Oh, why'd you do that?
Oh, I was having fun. So, let's see. If we're talking social media in general, I love it. I will say I do enjoy it. The only thing I don't like, and I will say that based on my generation with all level of seriousness, is the lack of confidentiality.
I think my generation could say the same thing too.
Really?
Sure. Yeah, same thing.
It's just a lot.
Especially if there's like protests going on and there's misinformation given about protests, political things. There's a viral video of a lady pushing a bear off a fence because it was trying to eat her dogs, and she just went with her fight or flight
bear.
But now everybody's like, you shouldn't have done that. What if you hurt the bear?
Right.
What if you did this? But I'm like, everybody has an opinion, and it's so hard on social media because it's just like, I don't want to hear everybody's opinion all the time.
It's so true. I think social media has brought light to a lot of things we don't see.
Absolutely.
So from a perspective of maybe overexposure, from that you can pick off the things that need to be exposed, right? So sometimes you have to have overexposure in order to pick the few things that really need to be highlighted.
And I really love that social media has brought not only just like other people in the same generation or opposite generations together, but it's brought families together too. Like, who would have thought, like 23andMe, all these genetic testing, and then you could just go on Facebook and find family members.
Here's what people to understand of your generation. Bullying happened a lot, but it happened on the under. Mm-hmm. See, today we just get to see it more. But I don't think there's less of bullying. I think it's just done differently. Mm-hmm. But I also think social media has done a lot of positive good. Today, you see it on social media like Lizzo. You see all these wonderful, voluptuous women and
of all colors.
Colors and sizes.
Look at the LGBTQ plus community. How we accept. It's the same thing.
I was just talking about size.
Equality in general, just equality as a whole. We do the best, absolutely.
Because
there's so many trans women and men that are also plus size that you see them on social media. Representation matters.
I agree.
No matter what, and I truly think that we do it the best. I just think that it's so important, and I really love that we're able to do that, where I can go online and see people that look like me and my mom and feel like I'm not alone. Right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Especially for the next generation coming up, it's so important, and these conversations need to be had.
I would love to hear from those of you in either generation to really chime in on this conversation. I don't think people really talk about it.
Yeah, even if you're not filming it, have these conversations at home and tell us what happened, and also comment below if you filmed a video at Be a Star. We want to know.
Be a star. We want to know those videos.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video.
Right.
Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube, and we'll see you guys soon.
Take care, and
bye for now.